Hey everyone, what's going on? This is Max from Unsubscribed Healthcare, and I wanted to go over with you the Useful Tools folder. In this Useful Tools folder, we have Payroll, Bulk Emails, and Copy Folder Program. Right now, we're going to be going over Payroll. In Payroll, this is a workbook that is used for you to keep track of your employees' payroll. It is not something that you would share with your employees because it is private information on here, but it does allow them to submit their weekly payrolls, and I'm going to go show you how to get this done. First, when we open up the new workbook, you're going to see this warning sign. This is with regards to the formula that I have in cell B10, and you can see here that it is using a different API in order to create a QR code. If you want to make your own QR code and not have this, you can, and you can just delete it, and then when you refresh, it should go away. However, it makes it a lot easier just to have a QR code generated, but again, I can understand people not wanting these warning signs. I'm going to click Allow Access, though. And then we're going to get started by going to Tools, Manage Form, and I'm going to go to Live Form. In here, we want to make sure that we copy the URL at the top here, and we're going to paste it into cell B8. You can see after we paste it into cell B8 that this is automatically generated as a QR code. You still want to copy and paste this here even if you do delete this formula. Okay, so what do we need to do next? We need to go into the Tools section again, Manage Form, and we're going to go to Edit Form. Here you can see we have the first question is, what is your name? And then we can go down below that, and we can see there's a couple other questions here. And finally, when we get down to the bottom two, which week is this for? And would you like to receive email reminders? The last two questions and the first question cannot be changed in the sense that we want it to still be regards to their name, week, what it was for, or week that you're submitting for, as well as the would you like to receive emails. These other questions in the middle you can change to fit your needs and make them however you want. You'll have to update the workbook as well, but we're going to keep it simple and just go through how we would add in an employee. Since I don't work for you guys, we're going to put down John Smith. We already have a couple of those examples submitted, so I'm actually going to do a different one. We will do Sean Smith. Instead of John Smith, we will do Sean Smith. So we don't need me because I don't work for you, so we're just going to leave it with Sean Smith. If you had more employees, you would also put them here. I also have George Washington as an example, and John Smith as an example. So you'd be able to put those people there. Next, what we want to do is we want to go over to responses. We can see that there's no responses, so we're good. And then go over to settings. In settings, we want to go to responses again here and make sure that require sign-in is not placed there, and also limit to one response is not checked off. This will allow employees to scan the QR code from their phone so that they don't have to be logged into their corporate email. If you do want them to have to be logged into the corporate email, you could make it so by clicking on that first one, but you will want them to be able to submit multiple responses, so never click on the limit to one response. From here, in order to set up the tab correctly for the new employees, we want to submit a employee timesheet example. So we're going to click on Sean Smith. I'm not going to click on any of this stuff because this is his first time that he's doing this, and we're going to choose a random date way earlier in the year, and then I'm going to click no for right now so that you can see, but we don't want to receive emails, so we're going to click no. After I click submit, I'm going to go back to the payroll, and we're going to change Maxwell. You can keep it there if you want. You don't have to keep Maxwell there, but you can if you want to. If you did keep it there and you wanted to make sure that you weren't like changing anything from the original code, you could do that, and it has all the original formulas and scripts and stuff as well to make sure it's functioning correctly. So you could leave this here if you wanted to. You don't have to. We're going to change it to Sean Smith because that is who we just answered for. Then we're doing Max at Unsubscribed Healthcare for the employee email. Obviously, you would put in your own employee email there. And you can see here, I can't check this box, yes or no, because it's based off of if the person has answered yes most recently, then it will be true. If they have not answered yes most recently, then it will be false. So it automatically checks the employee's answers to the most recent form submission to see if they want to receive emails or not. If they do want to receive emails, then these are the emails that they will send. In cell B4, this is the title of the email. It automatically updates with the day your last payroll submission was sent. You can change the wording around. This gets into a complex form that updates automatically based off of the information that's there. And then also same thing with the email body. You can see here the ones that I have automatically for you use and reference cell A6 and B6. You can easily set up a system like this for yourself as well. But basically, this says like this is your weekly reminder, and then this is if the person has not submitted in a while, this is the email that they will receive. So you can see here, since the last submission was 5/19, it is selecting cell B6 because that is the one that is past 1 week, and that is past our amount of time that we want selected. In here, you can see the last date of submitted was 5/19. Days to wait for reminder is 7, so it is definitely more than 7 days past that. So as long as cell B10 is true, the script should run, and then it will send out weekly reminders on Friday. So now that we have this all set up, we can click the minus. We don't need to look at it. You can change again those wording on the emails that you want sent to the employees to whatever you want. And then when we go up to the unsub menu, we're going to click set up triggers. After we click up the set up triggers, we are going to have to authorize it. Okay. Now that it has been authorized, it will automatically send again that email on every day if this is true in the morning, and then once a week it will send it over here. So if they really haven't sent it out and they need to, it will send them consistent reminders to submit their payroll. If it will just send their weekly reminders if it's just once a week. So let's set this up a little bit further. There's one last thing that we need to do, and that is to copy the name that is in cell C1, and we're going to rename the tab that we're on to Sean. Now that that's there, everything else will work, and you have completely completed the setup for a new employee. All they need to do is scan this QR code and to submit their times. So I've already made a few for other employees. So I can show you, we're going to make a new one for George Washington. I'm just going to speed through this as I do it. Make sure you change the patient email to George Washington's email. You can also recolor all of this stuff if you want to, just to make it easier for you visually to know who you're working with and working on that day. Again, it's a Google Sheet, so you can really make it your own and have it be whatever you want. So now that we have George Washington set up, let's get into this down here a little bit. So you can see George Washington has submitted some of his units already and submitted some of his payroll. This allows us to now select a couple of different things. We're able to change the starting week. So if we go to 12/8 and we wanted to just see 1 week, you can see here, this is what they have put in for just that week. So you can see the units divided by 4, admin hours, insurance eval, private pay eval, and private pay treatment. This is just what the person who hired me to make this payroll wanted, and so this is how I have set it up. And you can see this is related to all the questions that they have on their original question sheet. So if you were going to change anything here, you would need to change it on this section of the payroll workbook. But her idea was that she wants to pay a certain rate for each unit. So if she's paying $12 per unit to George Washington, and for Kyle, he's making $21 a unit. You can see that there's a big difference there, obviously. And then same thing for like admin hours, how much they get paid. You know, say Kyle is raking in the bucks and he's making $75 per admin hour, and he's making insurance eval, let's say 100, right? He's crushing it. He got a really good deal. So we're able to change based off of the employee that we are dealing with. But you can also, again, look at as many weeks as you want, right? So say we went out 3 weeks. You can see here 12/8, 12/15 is the one that I used for the initial submission just to get George Washington in there. And this is why you want to just pick a random date way early on so that it doesn't keep showing up on you. But you can see here 3 weeks out, we have all of the total amount of units. The rate of pay is 12 for the units. And then again, you can see how much we owe them for their admin hours, how much we owe them for insurance eval, and the private pay eval as well as private pay treatment. So this is how much we would pay that employee for those 3 weeks. If we scroll over to the side, you can also see total for all submissions. So if they have way more submissions, all of them will be located here, and it goes down as far as possible. Besides that, besides sending out the reminders, besides you being able to adjust this to fit your needs, you can also go to a graph, and you're able to select the employee from here. And we're able to choose which weeks that we want for George Washington. Say we wanted 3 weeks, and that these will adjust for that. So here you can see that since there's 2 submissions for 12/15, we're getting this blank one here. So I'm going to come over here to submissions, and I'm going to get rid of that blank one. Go back to the graph, and now you can see that fixes that error. Okay, so as long as it's not blank and empty, it should pull through. So even if the person doesn't put any hours in, have them put 0 instead. But here you can see we have 12/8 and we have 12/15. So this graph is able to update for the 2 weeks, and then over here you're able to update for more weeks. But it's a nice little visual on what you can see, what they brought in for that week versus the other weeks that they have there. If you're good with creating these graphs, I'm sure you could do more with this, but this is just kind of what I came up to just help with visuals for the client that hired me to make this. I hope this is helpful for you. I hope that this helps you with your journey and being a business owner, as well as making it easy for you guys to fill out payroll and to have your employees fill out payroll. Next up, we are going to be going over the next useful tool, and that is the copy folder program.